Hi everyone, welcome back. So, the wonderful Debbie over at Colour Me Stress Free tagged me in a new colouring tag where I'm going to answer useless questions that you didn't know about me. So there's quite a lot of them, so I thought I've been practicing in imaginary friends using my ink tents, which is something I've never done on the channel before. So I thought we could do that together and you can come in and see the image that I've started and how far I've got. I will of course tell you the colours that I'm using as we go along, but this is how far I've got so far. So a little bit of buckling, not much. But I have decided, I've got my questions propped up, so I decided that I was going to do the gorgeous cabin. And I don't know, I felt it was going to be easier to tackle with my an easier picture to tackle with my Derwents. So let me just show you what I did, colours I used for the cabin, because no doubt you'll be interested if you want to recreate the image. So I used oak, saddle brown and tan. Now I coated the whole thing with tan, let it dry, then I went back in and did the saddle brown parts, let it dry, and then I went back in with oak and deepened it up. The leaves I haven't got very far with so far. All I've done on some of them is just put felt green down. I made the mistake last time I did a tag of not telling you what pencils I'd used, and somebody asked me and I couldn't remember what colours or anything. So this one is it going to pick it up? Come on camera, work a bit harder, I know it's Thursday. Beach green, there we go. Okay, so I haven't put the beach green in as much yet, but I probably want to go even darker than that. But I wanted to practice with my ink tents. Like I said, I haven't used them on the channel before because I'm a little bit afraid of them, if I'm honest, because they are permanent. Once you've laid that colour down, that's it, they're not going anywhere. So I think that sort of scared me a little bit. And watercolours, you can kind of lift them off if you fluff up. Anyway, I'll bring the camera in and I'm going to focus. I might need to tilt you up a bit now. There we go. I'm going to focus on, I've put some on this leaf and some on these, and I want to just put different colours in there just to add a little bit of interest. So I'm going to be using the beach green. It's reflecting off my light. Beach green. And we'll get started with the questions while I do. So, number one on this tag is, what are you wearing? Well, I've been at school all day and I came straight home, ran upstairs, and I thought I'm going to put this video together because it's so much fun. So I haven't changed from my work clothes. So I've got a lovely grey cardigan on, really trendy and on point, you know. I've got a cardigan on, I've got a pink and white blouse, and then I've got black formal trousers on because I work in a school, so I can't be too casual. I have to look like I've made some effort, you know. So I found the secret to working with these is I'm just doing one bit at a time, activating it, and then I'm coming back. But also another massive thing that I've learned is actually you don't have to spread them about, just activate it to get that colour. And then you're less likely to get all those streaks and nasty bits that you don't want in your image. So, little tip there. I don't know if that will help anybody, but I've been scared of these for the longest time. But actually, if we put the colour down and just activate it instead of trying to spread it out so much, they work beautifully. Okay, number two. Have you ever been in love? Well, should I kiss and tell people? Well, you know, if you've watched my channel long enough, I'm married and have been married for, oh my god, 28 years. Yes. Married very young to my husband, and I am still in love with my husband. Yes, so yes, I have been in love and still am. Have you ever had a terrible breakup? Well, that kind of links with the last question, really. Me and my husband have been together many, many years now, and I met him when I was 16, and so I'd had sort of boyfriends like you do, but no terrible breakups, so I'm going to say no to that because I didn't really care about any of the others like I do my husband. So no, I've had breakups that you cried like you do when you were a teen, but nothing horrible. No. It says number 4, how tall are you? Well, I am 5'6" and a little bit, and I add the little bit on because that's important when you work in a school and you're surrounded by 6-foot young men that are huge. And was recently told that I have some arthritis in my spine, and it would seem since that point I've been kind of shrinking a little bit. I think I used to be about 5'7". So yeah, and it's noticeable, you know, like when you buy trousers from the supermarket and they're like a standard length. They used to be slightly too short for me, but now they fit perfectly. So there's a little bonus in that story. So I'm just still using the same colour, people, but I'm just going to layer them up and put some, I want some contrast in them, so they're not just one colour. Oh, the next question. Oh, how personal. How much do you weigh? Well, I don't know if I dare be that honest with you, to be honest. I am very overweight. I am 4 stone overweight, to be precise, according to medical, you know, where you should be in your BMI and all the rest of that jargon. And it has been building up for a while because of the fibromyalgia. I am less and less active than I used to be, and I'll be honest, I've ate junk and got large. So I am now currently, as of last week, on a healthy eating plan. A, to help with the fibromyalgia and the arthritis, but B, because it's got to the point, actually, that I am uncomfortable with myself. You know, I tell the children that I work with, please don't diet, you know, you yo-yo, you go up and down, and all the rest of it. So I am not dieting per se. I am doing a healthy eating program, and I am, in that, I am including a calorie count. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that, my husband's just come home from work. I don't know if you heard him shout up hello, but yeah, he's just got home from work. So what was I saying? Oh wait, yeah, so I'm not, it's not a diet, but I am including slightly restricting calories in that healthy regime. But I mean, when you're eating healthily compared to what I have been eating, it's not hard to do. You know, there's plenty of stuff that you can eat that fills you up. So, was I using the wrong green? I was. Or not? Was that just rolled away? No, I'm using beach green. I think there's a few more to add colour to here. Okay. So any tattoos? I don't. I don't have any tattoos. I don't have anything against them at all. I think some of the artwork, like if you follow Nicholas Filbert on Instagram, his tattoos are incredible. And I think some of them done properly are absolutely beautiful. But no, I don't have any myself. My sister does. She has quite a few. I don't, but I don't. I don't know, I just have this image, you know, that I just wouldn't suit them, I don't think. I don't know. Any piercings? Yes, I do. I have my ears pierced. And there's a story in itself. When I was at school, my mum took me and I had my ears pierced properly and professionally. 1 hole. And then when I was at school, in secondary school, it was really cool to have lots of, lots of ear piercings. So yeah, I did them myself. My mum was not happy. So eventually it got to the stage I had 4 piercings in one ear and 5 in another. And the reason I had 4 in one and 5 in the other is because the last time I pierced my ear, I had a horrendous infection and never dared do it again. So yeah. So now, because I'm at school and our children at school are only allowed to wear 1 piercing, so I don't like to say to children, particularly because I work with children with emotional and behavioural difficulties, I don't like to say to children, you've got to take those earrings out, you're only allowed 1 stud at school. If I've got an earful of earrings, you know, it's just a little bit hypocritical, isn't it? It's like, I'm the adult, you're the child, do as I say, not as I do. So I actually only wear one earring in each ear now. But yeah, that was a long ramble for you, wasn't it? These ones need some different colour. Okay, number 8. I don't know what OTP means. If anybody knows, I know that Debbie also missed this one out. So I'm going to go on to number 9, favourite show. That's really difficult because I have quite a few. The one, my lifelong one that I follow would be Coronation Street here in the UK. I have done since my mum introduced it to me as a little girl. And I usually watch that on record in the mornings before I go to work, because it just stops me thinking and worrying about everything. So I watch that, but I like American Horror Story. I enjoyed watching that, and I'm not a vampire kind of person, but I loved True Blood. I loved that. I watched every single season of that and really enjoyed it. What else do I like? I don't know. Lots of different things. I like horror films. I don't like, you know, like the slasher movies and things like that. I hate those. They scare me because they could be true, and that really frightens me. But I like paranormal ones, like a good ghost story, like the Conjuring series. I love those. So favourite bands, well, I love, who do I like? God, lots of people. I like Florence and the Machine. I love Florence and the Machine. I love Adele. I like, all sorts. My range is like quite eclectic. I like some Coldplay, not all of them. Who else do I like? Snow Patrol, some of them, not all of them. It just, you know, it's so different. But I'm a bit odd with music. I know if I like a song instantly. You know, songs don't grow on me. I know if I like them or not, and that's very odd. It just happened. And some songs, the first time I hear it, you know, I just fall in love with it and know that it's going to be a huge favourite of mine. It's odd, isn't it? But I just do. And there's just something about songs that click for me. And if somebody plays me a song and I don't like it, that kind of sticks. They never kind of really grow on me, which is a bit strange. But then, that's me. Okay. Oh, something you miss. Well, if you've been following my channel for any length of time, we had to let our beautiful German Shepherd, Lily, go last year in June. Here's a picture. I'll show you a picture of her. She was 8 years old but had terrible, here she is. It's my beautiful girl. She was a medium-haired German Shepherd, and silver and black her colouring was. So you're not going to be able to pick that up on that picture, but yeah, silver and black, her colour, and she was my best friend. And there were days, I know, hard days that I know without her, before I started YouTube, that I wouldn't have wanted to get out of bed. And she was like my soulmate, she really was. And I miss her still every single day. In fact, you're probably going to think I'm a bit stupid now, but I used to hate leaving her on her own because she had hip dysplasia. And I used to say goodbye to her every morning in a routine, and my dad would come in and let her out and make sure her hips were okay. Sorry, just having a sip of drink. And I still now, when I leave in the mornings, I still say, "See you later, Lil Bo." That's what I used to call Lil Bo Baggins. And I say that as I leave the house every morning. I know it's a bit daft, but it just makes me feel better, you know. So I miss her every single day. And of course there's other loved ones that we've lost on the way that, you know, that the pain gets easier but the loss never leaves you, does it? So yeah, that answers that one. Let's move on swiftly, shall we? A favourite song? Well, I'm a bit weird. I've told you I love Florence and Machine, and she covered a Beyonce song called Halo. And if you pull it up on YouTube, it will come up. Florence and the Machine Live Lounge singing Halo. Well, it blew me away when I heard it. Absolutely blew me away. So there's that one. And I have, the other one would be Christina Aguilera. I can't think of the title of it now. Oh, You Are Beautiful. I love that song because when I worked at the last school I worked with a group of children who had confidence and anxiety issues, and we did a group workshop. And out of that group workshop came this little girl with the most powerful voice I had ever heard, but was too scared to share it with anyone. And after the end of our 16-week programme, I think we did it like all term, we did an assembly, a whole school assembly, and she walked from the back up the front singing You Are Beautiful, and it still gives me tingles, you know, goosebumps when I think about how brave that little girl was. So I'm looking now for something to do, a different green to put on these fir trees. And I am thinking Ionian green, this one. I don't know if I've pronounced that correctly, but come on camera. Let's move back in, because it always does this, doesn't it? It's really temperamental, and then if we focus in, it picks it up. There you go. There we are. Ionian green? I'm not sure if I pronounced that properly. So I'm going to, like I've done with the other things, I'm terrified of blending these. So I'm doing one coat and then I'm going to go over the top. But I will get better and I will be able to start blending them like everyone else does. But at the moment this just gives me a bit more control. So I'm just lightly putting that green in. Okay, where are we? How old are you? I am 46 years old. I know it's incredible for me to say that. I can't believe I ever got to 46 years old. What happened? Yep, I am 46 years old. So you'll have worked out that I've been with my husband more than half my life and was quite a young mum. Okay, number 14, my zodiac sign. I am a Taurus and I hate it. The bull in the china shop, you know. When I was little, I was really clumsy. I'm still clumsy now. I'm always walking into things and dropping things, and, you know. I'll tell you why I hate it. I hate it because I used to get called clumsy. Oh, you're so clumsy. You know. And so I hate being a Taurus because I am true to my star sign. I do jump in sometimes, even with colouring, believe it or not, and jump in headlong and do things without thinking. And I hate it. So I've got a coat of that on. I'm going to let that completely dry. I'm not going to do anything else until it's completely dry. Okay. Quality you look for in a partner. That's easy for me to answer, and that would be that they are kind. I don't cope very well, due to past experiences, of people being mean to me. I can't handle it at all. So a quality I would look for in a partner, in a friend, or anybody I have to spend any length of time with is if they are kind to me. If they're not, they're gone. And that's the end of that. So long, goodbye. So if I was to have a mean comment on YouTube, just goodbye, delete, and that's that. Yeah. So kindness is really important to me. And I think with kindness comes respect. So without that, there's nothing really. Okay. Favourite quote? Well, it's not very cultured, people. But when Shrek came out, my boys were little, and we were looking to move house at that point, and Donkey says the phrase to Shrek, "That is a nice boulder. I like that boulder." Oh no, he says, sorry, I've got it wrong. He says, wow, look at that. Who'd want to live in a place like that? And Shrek says, well, actually, that would be my home. And Donkey then says, that is a nice boulder. I like that boulder. And my son, my eldest son, is a brilliant mimic and can do Donkey's voice to a T. So when we were looking for properties and houses, and, you know, some of them turned out to be an absolute dump, Liam used to say that to me, that phrase, and we used to laugh like mad because he was absolutely brilliant at doing it. Okay, I did show you, yeah. Favourite quote, favourite actor. My favourite actor of all time has to be Anthony Hopkins. He's so versatile in his acting, and of all the films, I know people are going to say Silence of the Lambs, but of all the films, he did a horror film called, or a supernatural film called Right, and it was about, obviously, it was about possession and him being a exorcist. I won't spoil it in case any of you haven't seen it and you like that kind of thing, but his acting in that blew me away. You know, sometimes when you see the same actor and you watch a lot of their things, they're very samey, you know, you kind of can predict the way they're going to respond to things. Well, I don't think you can with Anthony Hopkins. I think he's incredible. I also like Jack Nicholson as well. I think he's incredible. Okay. Favourite colour? Well, my favourite ever colour is pink. I was a 70s baby, as you've probably grasped, and spent a lot of my life in brown, and I hate it. And then when I went to secondary school, the uniform we had to wear, oh gosh, I hate it. So my favourite colour now is pink, girly pink. But I also love, you know, this, I'll show you. These kind of pale, like mint greens. Like this one, like water green on the Derwent watercolour. Can you see? Like that. And the turquoisey blues, I love those. But pink. Yeah, so that was that one. Loud music or soft music? I don't know. I don't know what you class like Florence and the Machine as. I suppose they have ballads and they have loud music, as do like Snow Patrol and Coldplay. I like loud music if I'm having a little drink. I like a bit of loud music. That's fine. But otherwise, probably softer music. Where do you go when you're sad? That's a good question. I tend to come up here into my, well, it's a spare bedroom, but I call it my little art room. What am I going to do? What colours am I going to do that? I'm going to do these little shrubs in this ionic green. I tend to come up here in my art room and, or my colouring room, which was was my eldest son's bedroom. I come up here and get some form of art out and get on with it. Yeah. Or, oh, I'll come up here probably and then either ring my husband or usually my dad, because he doesn't work anymore, obviously. Yeah. So I will change the colours up. I just want to get these little shrubs in too, so that it does look a bit different. Okay. How long does it take you to have a shower? Well, my hair's quite long since lockdown and I haven't had it cut, so I would say about 10 or 15 minutes. Wash it, condition it, and wash yourself. Yeah, about 10 or 15 minutes. I quite like it. It's relaxing. How long does it take you to get ready in the morning? Well, I have quite a set routine. So I come downstairs, I have my cup of tea, and then at 6:30 I'll go upstairs to get dressed, and by 10 to 7 I'm downstairs making my lunch for school. So about 20 minutes. I do faff quite a lot though. Have you ever been in a physical fight? Oh my goodness. Yes, I did. I have. I'm ashamed to admit, but yes, I was in a physical fight. I fell out with my best friend at school, and yeah, it was quite a bad fight as well. You know, it was like, just bringing you in a bit. Yeah, it was really quite nasty. Quite a nasty fight. But within, I don't know, an hour and a half, we were friends again. Everyone was talking about it, like, you know, like they do at school. But it was over and done with quite quickly. I'm looking for something to do the bark on the tree with, so that it doesn't blend into these. So I think I'm going to take tan and I want something a little bit different. What colour did I use, did I say? Oak. So what about dark chocolate? That might be quite nice. Let's try that. Let's try and find it. Would help if I was looking in the browns. There we go. So I've now got dark chocolate and I've got tan. Yes. Okay. Let me find it. Ever been in a physical fight? We've done that. I don't know what 24 and 25 are. I don't know what it means, turn on, turn off. I don't know what that means. So the reason I joined YouTube, oh, there's a good one. The reason I joined YouTube, well, I was going through a very low period in my life. I think it was probably due to the fibromyalgia and not being able to do all the things that I wanted to do. And I remember I was actually signed off work and was really low, and I've been colouring for about 9 months, and it suddenly dawned on me one day just how much joy and support that watching people on YouTube, particularly at the time and still now, Zucchini Kitty and Colour and Chat with Sammy, I used to look forward to seeing their videos, and if they didn't post I would watch older ones and colour with them. And so the reason I started was I wanted to give back to the community. I hoped that if I could just reach one person and make their day, like watching Karen at Zucchini Kitty and Colour and Chat with Sammy had done for me, then my job was done. I'm just moving my stuff out of the way so I can move the book. Yeah, so that's why I started YouTube. It wasn't because I felt like, hey, I'm the most fantastic colourist in the world, because you guys know that that's not true. I don't think that. I'm going to let that dry before I put that dark chocolate on one of the edges. So I've got... come on, camera. It's not liking it today, is it? Felt green. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, you know that I don't come on here and think, oh, I'm the most fantastic artist in the world, because you know that's not true. I just wanted to share, reach out to people and enjoy having a common hobby together is what I wanted. That was my reasons. Okay. Fears. Well, I have lots of fears because I struggle with anxiety, and I am diagnosed with anxiety, believe it or not, I am. And so lots of things worry me, really worry me. But I suppose one that has quite a profound effect on me is driving places I don't know. And I know that's quite common, but I do get really anxious before I go out in the car. I'm just going to activate this and see what I think before I carry on. And the other is when I go to bed I watch YouTube. Get in bed, put my headphones in and watch YouTube. And I'm fine some nights, and other nights I'm like, oh, what was that noise? Is somebody trying to break in? And I get panicky about it, which is ridiculous, I know. Because you wouldn't be able to get into our house without making the most horrendous noise. So, but it does still makes me panic. So that's a fear of mine, being broken into while I'm here. Last thing that made you cry. Well, that was, just trying to think. I'm trying to think. I think it was at school. It was. And we had a speaker come in. I'm not going to say anything more about it because I don't want to name the person or what they were talking about for their own privacy. But this speech was very, very powerful and, yeah, brought tears to my eyes. We have so many inspirational people out there that have got a story that is incredible and bursting and waiting to be told. So yeah, so that was actually today. Yeah, there are many things that make you come home and bawl when you work in a school. Oh, brush is a bit wet. Sorry, just concentrating on getting round these branches and filling that in. And I'm going out of the lines, I know, because I want to bring that green out a little bit more. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Last time you said you loved someone, well, that would be my husband this morning before he left for work. I always tell him I love him. And everybody in my family, if I've spoken to them, even if it's on the phone, I tell them that I love them before I go. Always. always. Any member of my family. Even my best friend. When I FaceTimed her, I tell her I love her. Yeah, I think it's really important. Really important to do that. And anyway, the meaning behind your YouTube name. Well, that's an interesting one. The day... Let me just get a sip of drink, sorry. The day I decided to do YouTube was the day I filmed. And I had very, very low self-esteem, very minimal confidence in myself. And I didn't want to come on YouTube and claim to know everything and, you know, be a colouring hero, because I'm not. So I wanted something simple that reflected the everyday colourist, you know. So Lucy just adds colour, meaning that I'm not the artist, but I can add diamonds to diamond painting. I can add colour on paper. I can paint on paper. So it didn't restrict my channel if I had wanted to do different things. But as it happened, you know, my love of colouring is paramount, and but it just fitted. It fitted me because, like I say, I didn't want to be I didn't want to be, you know, to be seen as cocky, I suppose, and I'm just adding colour, being like the girl next door. That's how I wanted it to be. So that was a long-winded version of who, where, what and why, wasn't it? But yeah, and I hope that's come across. You know, I'm not this cocky, look what I can do. I'm not, and I don't know anybody on YouTube that is, so I'm not saying that, so don't get me wrong. Yeah. Last book you read, gosh, the last book I read would have been for university when I was studying. There would have been a very boring to you guys health and social care book. Yeah, and that would have been quite boring for you guys. I won't go into that one. The book you're currently reading. I'm not currently reading a book. I love reading. I really do. I want to work this out. But I'm too tired. I come home from work and I collapse, basically. I come upstairs, film a video for you guys, chat to you, if I've got the energy to do that. I don't even cook my dinner because my husband does it for me, because there's nothing left in me by the time I come home from work. And yeah, so I don't read, but I do listen to audiobooks, and I love, like Debbie said, I love listening to Harry Potter, and I listen to Stephen Fry's version because his voice is lovely and calming. Yeah, so I'm not actually currently reading a book per se. Let's move back over here. Hope you're still with me, guys. The last show you watched is True Blood, because they put it back on Sky, so I'm re-watching it, and brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The last person you talked to was my husband just now. You guys, of course. And then my husband just now, you heard him come in, and I paused the video, went down, said hello, and like you do. So the last person I spoke to was my husband. The relationship between you and the last person you text, well, that would be my son, my eldest son, because he sent me a video of my grandbaby this morning jumping in a puddle and having a marvellous time. So he was the last person that I text. Favourite food. My favourite food, without doubt, is roast beef dinner. I adore it. Roast beef and Yorkshire puddings. Gotta have Yorkshire puddings. I didn't let that dry. Fundamental mistake there. No real harm done. Yeah, Yorkshire puddings. Love it. Roast beef, Yorkshire puddings, thick gravy. Am I making you hungry? I'm going back to the dark chocolate. And I'm just going to put that down one side of the tree. Here. Where are we? Okay. Favorite place you want to visit? I have led a very sheltered life, people. Being a young mum, I was married to my husband with 2 children at the age of 19. And so being a young mum, I didn't have the opportunities that maybe other people would have. I've worked really hard to get where I am in the job that I do, because I messed school up because I was an idiot. And so I have never been on an aeroplane, ever. In fact, I've never left the UK. I would love to, now that my children are grown up and they're happy and doing their own thing. I would love to, but no, I've never left the UK. And one of the places that I would have really liked to go to is America. I'd love to see the sights in America, as well as Disneyland, of course. If you're going to go to America, that's got to be a must, hasn't it? I'm going to put a little bit of that brown in that tree. There's a tiny little bit of branch showing through. Yeah, so I'd love to go to America. But currently, right now, what I'd like to do is just to be able to go to Cornwall, our usual holiday destination, without being in blooming lockdown. The last place I was at school. I can't go into any more detail for obvious reasons than that. Do you have a crush? Well, if I was going to say I had a crush other than my husband, it would have to be the actor, oh my god, Kiefer Sutherland, when he was young. I don't know if you've ever watched The Lost Boys, but he was delicious in that show. Absolutely delicious. And I still watch it now and think, yes, hello, you are beautiful. So yes, it would have been Kiefer Sutherland, but nobody other than Steve, my husband, of course. I'm just going in now with Saddle Brown, and I'm just going to put some more tone on that chimney pot. The last time you kissed somebody, my husband, of course, my grandbaby. Yeah. The last time you were insulted, the last time I was insulted was today, when you work in a school with the nature of the children that I work with. Insults are thrown on a daily basis. They don't mean them. They get frustrated and cross over something else, but you'll usually end up being sworn at, or, you know, and in extreme cases something thrown, or, you know, they don't mean it. They get frustrated and quite often don't have the words to express just how they're feeling, which is quite sad. So that's something we work on. So yeah, daily basis. So today, your favourite sweet. Now, that would have to be a... I like wine gums, if we're talking sweets like that. And it would have to be, or any flavour wine gum, but I do like the black or the red ones best. If we're talking sweet, as in terms of dessert, it would be apple crumble and cream or custard. Not first, apple crumble, cream, yeah, lovely. I'm making myself hungry, my mouth's watering. What instrument do you play? I do not play an instrument. I wish I did, but I don't. You're getting near the end now, folks. It's asking me now for my... I'm going to take some of this dark chocolate and I'm just going to shadow there a little bit more. because it's a beautiful rich colour that's come out. I wish I did play an instrument, but I don't. Where were we? Favourite jewellery. I don't wear a lot of jewellery. You'll notice I don't wear a wedding ring, and that's because my fingers go up and down swelling, and everything annoys me. But my youngest son, brought me a Pandora bracelet. I love that, and I do wear that. Of late I haven't been able to because everything's just annoying me. But we went on holiday one year and we went to this craft market, me and my husband, and in there was this gorgeous gorgeous silver locket, and it probably is about that size, with engraving on it. It's absolutely stunning, and I fell in love with it. And didn't get it because I said, no, it's too much money. No, it's too much money. Well, while I was off with my boys doing something else, my husband went back to that market and brought it for me, that craft market. And I haven't been able to wear it recently because, like I say, everything's driving me mad. But that's my favourite piece of jewellery. Above anything else, I think, because it was so special, you know, that the fact that he went back and brought it for me, and I had no idea. It was so lovely. That's my favourite piece of jewellery. The last sport you played, wow, being very overweight. I don't play a sport. My sport is my wrist does this. Yeah, I used to when I was younger. I used to play hockey for the school, netball for the school, and I used to run for our local county team. I was quite a good runner. Yeah, I'm going to let that dry. I don't want to put too much of this in, it's very dark. So no, I don't currently play a sport. The last song you sang would have been Friday Night with my husband, because I do believe after a few tipple of drink, after a few drinks, I do believe that I am from Florence and the Machine or Adele. So it would have been one of those, the last song I sang. A favourite chat-up line, never had one. I was too shy, I think. No, never had a favourite chat-up line. So the next one says, have you ever used it? No, the answer is to that, because I don't have one. Last time you hung out with anyone, the last time I hung out with anyone other than my husband would have been my dad. My lovely dad. When lockdown lifted and you could go and sit outside for a cup of tea, I took my dad out. We froze to death sitting outside. We froze to death sitting outside. But I bought him a cup of tea and a bacon sandwich. I love going out with my dad. We always go out somewhere for a cup of tea together, so it's really nice. So that was, yeah, my dad. And who should answer these questions next? Well, our lovely Kirsty has done an amazing job of tagging people in this already. But I think I would like to tag May Bronx. She's an amazing colourist. I'd like to see her do it. And off the top of my head, I can't think, you know, being put on the spot. But what I will do is tag down below the other colourists that I would like to see do this tag. There's many people that I would love to see do this tag, but I'll go off and I will think about who would be really good fun to watch do this tag, put them on the spot like me, and how honest they're willing to be with us. That'll be quite fun. And I think May will do that brilliantly. So I will have a think about, because the lovely Debbie's tagged most of the people that I would have tagged in it. So I will have a think about what other people are out there that might want to take part in this. So, well, I hope you've enjoyed colouring in Karolina Kubikowska with me. this is, like I say, my practice page with the Inktense, and what I will do is when I've done my finished pages, and yeah, my finished pages for the month, I'll come back and we'll do an image together with Inktense, and maybe those lovely new pencils that I've just used, that I've just swatched. Alright folks, I think you've been sat long enough listening to my useless information tag. Thank you, Debbie, for tagging me. So that's Debbie over at Colour Me Stress Free. She's a wonderful colorist. Yeah, I'll let you go anyway, folks. Take really good care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow with my finished pages, God willing. Take care, guys. Bye bye.